Remember the Zoom court viral video guy? Well, there's yet another update, and it looks like he was never in the right from the beginning. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today I bring you yet another update on the Zoom court viral video guy out of Michigan. Now, there's a lot here. The news first broke in the viral video of this guy driving his vehicle while he was on the Zoom court call for driving on a suspended license. Obviously, the lawyer saw it, the judge saw it. He gets sent straight to jail. Now, he goes to jail, 2 days, he gets out. Then it's revealed that, yes, his license was suspended, but it shouldn't have been suspended because of a clerical error back in Saginaw, Michigan. Now, yes, there was a clerical error. Yes, it was fixed. But the problem is he never had a license in his life. So, $1 million question. Hey, ABL, how can his license be suspended if he never had one? That is an amazing question, and it's a little bit complicated. Now, before I go any further into it, let's get to the update video. And of course, I will link to everything in the box. The original video, the updates, plural at this point, and more. And if you're on IG, visit a link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
New tonight, a shocking twist for the man who went viral for driving during a virtual court hearing for a suspended license.
Corey Harris showed up in person at a Washtenaw County courthouse today, hoping to set the record straight and put this entire saga behind him. Instead, we're reporting on a brand new chapter.
7 News Detroit reporter Kimberly Craig has been keeping up with the twists and turns of this one. She was in court today as it all unfolded.
Well, nothing went the way Corey Harris thought it was going to go in court today. The judge started off by slamming Corey Harris, saying he's never even had a valid driver's license. And the afternoon ended with Harris going to jail.
The person that needed to be blamed is the person that he was staring at in the mirror. He didn't do what he should have done.
The judge came ready to set the record straight with Corey Harris, who has claimed that he thought the suspension on his driver's license was removed 2 years ago.
That court and its friend of the court did nothing wrong. His driving privileges were unsuspended in 2022. That required Mr. Harris to do something. He didn't do it.
The judge said Harris never paid his clearance fees with the court or the Secretary of State to lift the suspension. But that's not all.
He has never.
So, okay, now that's one thing. Okay, so they did their part. But then it's like, okay, now you got to follow up. You got to pay some money to clear the suspension. And he didn't pay that money. So the court did nothing wrong. Remember, there was a whole thing about, oh, it was a clerical error and, you know, all kind of X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third. They didn't do anything wrong. Now, we can have a conversation about whether the license should have been suspended because of child support in the first place, but that's aside from the point. The point is, the friend of the court did their job. He did not do his job. And he didn't do something else, which would have prevented him from getting locked up right now. Let's keep on going.
Never had a Michigan license.
Let's back up a little bit.
That's not all.
He has never had a Michigan license. Ever.
We asked Harris yesterday if he ever had a valid driver's license. He claimed he didn't remember. Do you ever recall having one? Having a driver's license?
Sir, like, are you frozen right now? What's going on? Like, what's happening? Do you have a valid driver's license? Have you ever had a valid driver's license? I have my wallet in my pocket right now. I could pull out my license and show you. I know when I got it, I was 15 with my permit, 16 with my license. I've had one ever since. Okay. I've had my license since the 90s. I know that I have a license. This is not really hard to understand.
I knew I had a permit. I knew that.
A driver's permit or?
I believe. I don't know. I can't say yes and I can't say no.
And that's odd because the Pittsfield Township police officer and prosecutor said during that October traffic stop, Corey Harris knew what was up.
At least twice during this traffic stop, he acknowledged to the officer that he did not have a valid license. Quote unquote, quote, actually, I don't have a valid license. Close quote.
So he knows he does not have a license. Like, why are we playing games? Sir, you're caught. Like, there's nothing, ain't no point in saying, I don't know, all this, that, and the third. You know you don't have a license. Why we got to play these games? You are a liar at a certain point.
The question was, are you a valid driver? Quote, I am not.
There was no error by anybody. It was a failure on the part of Mr. Harris to do certain things. Now, I grant you that sometimes that can be a complicated process, but it was certainly not anybody's fault that that didn't happen other than that wasn't paid.
Then came the unexpected.
He has a warrant for his arrest.
Corey Harris was taken into custody for what appears to be a 9-year-old bench warrant out of Allen Park.
So was I shocked? Absolutely. Did I want my client to walk in and then get escorted to the back? Absolutely not. That was not the plan.
The shocking thing about it is for a driving while license suspended that he didn't take care of.
It should be some.
So he had an old warrant from 9 years ago that they booked him on. And it was not the whole thing about driving on a suspended license or driving with no license, which is what it actually was. Okay. And to be clear, just so we understand what's happening, there was a child support issue back in 2010. They said his license was suspended. When I say they, I mean the media and whoever was reporting on it, including myself. But his license was not suspended. His privilege to drive in the state of Michigan was suspended because of the child support issue. But the problem is he never had a license. So when you get pulled over, even though that could have been lifted if you paid your money, which you didn't do, it doesn't even matter because you never had a license at all. So you're still driving with no license, whether the suspension to drive in Michigan is there or not. It's irrelevant to the point of you not having a license. If he would have paid the money to clear the Michigan suspension, he'd have been good. If he got a license, but he didn't do either one. And the most important thing is that he didn't have a license.
Thing that a lesson for all of us. Handle your business. At the end of the day, handle your business.
This is his lawyer talking. Handle your business. Tighten up.
In Ann Arbor, Kimberly Craig said.
That's probably a PD, public defender, I'm sure. So, yeah, this guy, I mean, come on, man. Really? You talking about it's embarrassing. I'm involved with the church. Really? Look, if you're involved with the church and this is embarrassing to you, then you should have tightened yourself up. I said in my previous video, he said, sue. Nah, you shouldn't sue anybody because this is 100% his fault. Look, the front of the court, they said, okay, you can get your right to drive back if you pay X amount of money. Now we can have the argument. I don't think it makes any sense to have your license suspended or your right to drive suspended because of child support, because how are you going to get to work and pay your child support bills? So I don't think that's right. But the court themselves, they're not going to legislate. All they do is just going to say, okay, look, you got to do X, Y, and Z. You get your rights back. That's just what it is. We're not going to make the law. All we do is just give you the tools to be able to do whatever you got to do. And he didn't do it. But none of that even matters because he never had a valid driver's license. And what I read from a previous article is that he had a valid state ID and he first got it back in 1999 when he was 19 years old. So for 25 years, he has religiously renewed his state ID, but he never had a license. So I presume for like 25 years or so, he's been riding dirty. And it's possible to do. Some are going to say, well, hey, how did he not have a license for all this time? Well, it's possible. I mean, look, if you're not really a reckless driver, you're not really getting pulled over like that, you can do it. Obviously, he did get pulled over at least one time, which is why he was arrested for driving with no license. This is really crazy, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your take on the whole situation? Are you shocked here at the update? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is crazy, man. Don't go on the internet and these interviews talking about, oh, I'm embarrassed and I got ties with the church and I look like a fool now. Nobody did anything wrong other than you. The front of the court, they didn't do anything wrong. They would have lifted your suspension if you paid your money, but you didn't pay your money. Even if they did lift it, it didn't matter because you never got a driver's license. And because you're in court on the license kerfuffle, now you got an old bench warrant. My advice to add on to what the lawyer said, you know, the whole thing about handling your business, don't get locked up. Don't have confrontations with the police. Just do right and you'll be fine for the most part. This guy was driving with no license for probably 20-something years and never really got locked up for it, except for right now. So as long as you keep your nose clean and you're not really getting involved with crime, you're not going to have a lot of problems. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.